first time I ever experienced grieving, I was about 5 or 6. I lost my pawpaw, which is my mother's father. I remember going to Virginia for that funeral. I remember seeing him in the retirement homes and like the hospice. I remember those things. I even remember when my great grandma got sick. She died a year later. I was about 7 or 8. Those were the first 2 deaths that I experienced. Those are the first 2 things that I ever, or situations when I actually grieved. Throughout life, I didn't know I was grieving at all. Of course, there were other deaths in the family, friends, things like that. But those 2 deaths, my great-grandmother and my grandfather. My great-grandmother died on my birthday. My pawpaw, he died in November, a year prior. Of course, they say, hey, this person went to heaven, this person died, but they don't like really tell you that there's no way to grieve. There's no timeline. Like, in the community that I come from, they don't speak on that. You see people have barbecues and cookouts and just turn up and do all this other stuff versus actually seeing other family members go to therapy, go get some type of help, or speak on grieving. You don't see that too often. That's why I do what I do. Because if I was to have kids, or if I choose to have kids, I would want them to know what grieving is. Because grieving is horrible. Like, it's a lot. I've seen positive and negative things in grieving. I became a completely different person. And I also lost myself. Nobody ever told me these things. That's the reason why I do what I do. See, I'm not a big social media person. Like, I'm not. I used to do podcasts and things like that, but it wasn't for the fame and stuff. Like, it was passion. Like, I don't even like talking to people. Like, grief did a lot. I recently just start like looking in the mirror and doing things like that. I look too much like my dad. I sound just like my dad. So like a lot of things when I'm making videos or whatever, I sound just like my dad. I don't be wanting to talk. That's why some people be like, they just want to come up to me and I'm like, man, you just don't know. I don't want to talk. And people say I make it look easy. You don't know what I go through. But everybody grieves differently. Everybody handles their situations differently. My best recommendation would be to seek help. Ain't nobody gonna feel bad for you. You gotta continue on. It's life.